Are y'all aliens?
I think
this. So, what's your album called?
It's called Mission Earth.
Okay. What is Mission Earth about?
It's a story that we made through the titles.
Okay.
It's an album with 13 different tracks.
Okay.
So we have named them. It was made from one single jam,
Okay.
and I've named them to form a story out of those titles.
Okay.
So that is the whole concept behind the album.
Okay. What kind of music would you put this under?
Radio friendly.
Well, I heard it, and it will definitely be on my radio.
Thank you.
Especially the one that says, the brain. Let's see what's inside it. Let's see what's inside it.
No, so I think we basically, if you want to categorize it, probably improvisational music, maybe that's the...
Okay, so this is pure improvisation.
Yeah, it's just a jam.
Okay.
The funny thing is, like, most of the albums, the stuff we put out, I don't think we can attempt to play it live.
Okay.
Because we don't know what exactly we did at that point in time. So I don't know whether we can reproduce the same kind of thing.
Why did you do it?
I think it was more about trying to capture the moment right then and there.
Okay.
It's basically about what we're feeling exactly at that point in time.
Okay. Okay. What do you do before you get into a recording session? How do you all prepare with each other? What do you discuss?
Basically what we do is I try to have as little prejudice and just be at the moment, at the particular moment of time. Like, I try to have, sometimes we'll be going, okay, let's do something like that, and then I try to forget that. That is the most important thing, that you should be completely starting with a blank page.
Okay.
We have coffee before we play.
Yeah,
Okay.
We set up the cameras, we set up recorders, that's what we do.
Okay, but these tracks, have you all at least spoken about the ideas, musical ideas in there before you get into the
Not at
studio?
all, we just hit record.
Oh man, that's amazing, because a lot of sections in certain tracks sound like they were probably rehearsed, maybe not with the instruments, but probably rehearsed as an idea. Like, okay, let's play this and then move to that section, because it sounds that way. So this is if you're saying that you completely come with as a blank page.
Yeah. So we've played with each other for a certain amount of time, and maybe at a very minimal level we're familiar with each other's tendencies.
Okay.
So one can kind of sense where this might be, although that would be kind of defeating the purpose.
Okay.
We also trip out a lot in repetition, even if it's just for a moment.
Right.
The particular lick of feel
Right.
played over and over. It kind of has a different effect on you.
Okay.
We sometimes kind of try to incorporate that. And so as random as it sounds, we try to have some sort of a hook, some sort of a melody, something for the listener, and even for us to hold on to.
I think it depends on the spur of the moment,
Yeah.
whether or not you want to have a melody.
Right.
Or sometimes I may just decide to bang on the guitar with my drumstick and create noise and have as less melody or no melody at all if I want to.
Guitarists, please don't be hurt. In Let's Dig Deeper, I'm sure we might find something good in there. One of you all have spoken. You've spoken.
Oh yeah.
No, I think it's not in that track. It's on
Human Extract Sample.
1 and 2. That's where
You've spoken in Human Extract Sample #001 and
It's number 1.
Oh, it's number 1 and it's number 2.
Yeah.
Well, Human Extract Sample number 1.
Yeah.
I get the wordplay there. But what was the speech for Human Extract Sample?
No, I just randomly started speaking. I just felt like uttering something.
It's like a Benjamin Franklin speech to free the poor from poverty.
No, that's very utopian. I don't think that's going to happen, considering how things are.
Alright.
Yeah, so like he mentioned before, ours is we're very impulsive that way.
Okay.
I felt that at that point maybe, I don't know, maybe I was bored of drumming and I just wanted to do something else.
Alright.
I just started speaking and
Alright.
all those things that have been spoken, no idea, no concept. I could call it gibberish as well, but it doesn't seem like gibberish, I hope.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, you have tracks with hashtags, 2 of them, called Cool and Swag.
Yeah.
What was the idea of naming them that?
I mean, it's cool. Hashtag. You have to hashtag the cool stuff. Hashtag the swag stuff.
Pretty much that.
You want to add something about the melody part of it into about the tracks?
There is no specific melody that you start off with. You can see it's more, since we're just 2 of us, we don't have a bass player. Like, it's basically I have to take care of the low end. So like I have to mostly play riffs and take care of the low end. So like there's not much melody as in the traditional sense, a melody going on.
In terms of a solo or in terms of...
So it's more to do with the riffs and the feeling of the riffs.
Okay. This question is for both of you. You can probably give me your individual answers on this. Was there... I'm sure this entire album there would have been many moments, but if you had to just pick one for you and maybe something else for you, one moment where there was like, you really loved it, whatever happened there, be it the melody, be it the groove, be it the whole coming together of that section or something. Was there a particular moment that stands out for you in that recording session?
Yeah, for me, it does. I'm not sure what that section we've named as, but there's one particular thing where he goes into this textural guitar kind of a thing with a delay.
Yeah.
And I think initially we both are playing different meters or something like that.
Okay.
So that's, I don't know, it's very, very trippy for me.
Okay.
So being in that moment, trying to figure out what he's doing while at the same time trying to play something which is complementary. And still there are prejudices acting in you, like you're not completely free, right?
Yeah.
You have certain things you want to abide by. Oh, okay, I don't want to step all over the melody, or let me see if I can accent something. Those things are still going on as and when you jam. So that particular instance was really, really intense for me. And I kind of surprised myself a bit with the whole spoken word thing. I'm not really... Traditionally, no. No.
Right.
Those who know me will blatantly disagree.
Right.
And the jam itself seemed quite special because we were kind of drifting into territories where we generally don't, compared to our previous jams and things like that.
Yeah, there were a lot of genres. What was the moment you had?
I think for me the best track on it was definitely #Cool.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool though. I really like that track.
And I actually chose to keep the whole 9 or 10 minutes of it, like without... Most of the tracks are like shorter, but that track was one long piece of section that just felt like one unit of music. And I think how I felt was really #Cool.
I feel like a hashtag.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think that was...
Yeah, I mean, just to add to that, like, I'm sure as a musician and with your work, you understand, like, you can't have, like, just one favorite kind of a section when it comes to your stuff.
Yeah.
So...
But there are moments.
Yeah, so another one of those, if I may, where I think at some point we go up into this slightly metal kind of a thing with the...
Autopsy.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, okay, this is what I saw. Okay, this is what they play in the blast. Let me try it. Okay, so I initially was very skeptical, as in, like, when the thought occurred to me, I was like, no, maybe not. And I was like, might as well.
Alright, so I'm gonna ask you, I really want to understand this. How would you space this music in a world where improvisation has a very, very large meaning? Under improvisation itself, there could be tons of genres, styles.
So this is free improvisation. The exact genre, it's a genre that came out somewhere in the 50s, late 50s and 60s. But it started with jazz, with Ornette Coleman and these guys. Like, they started free jazz, Shape of Things to Come, Shape of Jazz to Come. And then it moved on out of the territory of jazz. Like with people like Don Cherry, like they took it beyond jazz, and it's come over to rock. And I mean, the early Pink Floyd stuff, those were very free improvised. Like, okay, they had songs, but then they had some tracks which were like free improvised, and it kind of veered into, like, let's say, space rock, psychedelic rock. But then there have always been artists who have continued with pure free improvisation. Fred Frith, another legend. So I think and since we've tagged this as free rock, because definitely we're not doing any jazz, we don't have horns, so he's playing drums and I'm playing guitar, so naturally the sound that comes out of our instruments are 90% rock. So that's why we've coined the new hashtag, free rock.
Nice, that's amazing. So, how did you come up with the idea about, or how did you come up with the idea for the names of the tracks?
It's usually what I feel, like the first song, that's the intro, dude. I mean, that was actually a spoken, one of our friends, Viku, he barged into the jam, and then we had a little conversation, and then that was one of the lines. That's the intro, dude. So you're improvising even when you're producing, and then as you cut in more tracks and EQ them and stuff, the story starts formulating in your head.
Okay, what do you think is the kind of audience that would be listening to this? Have you thought of that?
It's mostly on the first place, it will be people who are into space rock, people who are into, let's say for example, who are into Frank Zappa or Pink Floyd, and people who are into Miles Davis. These kind of people who are into that idea of having something hypnotize you, and they are not depending on the melody to have Nirvana or something, not the band. They're not hooking on the melody. They're hooking on sometimes the rhythm, sometimes it's the repetitions, and it's the hypnoticism of it.
The vibe of it. So one way I kind of look at it is after the jam, when you, I don't know, at home or else listening to it, I kind of get this vibe of a movie OST kind of a thing. So I don't know, certain sections, and you get images. So you can, maybe if you're listening to an Arabic scale, you might picture Omar Sharif on a camel.
I was thinking about hookah setup, and about dancers.
I suppose that too.
I think it's
all the Habibi.
Yeah.
Contrary to that, I believe it's more for loners. It's for someone to just sit in your room alone and listen to it. It doesn't usually work in a group setting, because it's weird. The music is weird, so you can't be around other people when things go weird, right?
And also, since there is some amount of abstraction there as well, listening to it in a group or listening to it individually, the interpretation may vary. Surrounded by people, I don't know, you might be in a different state of mind. Alone, you might be in a different state of mind. So the music might seem different. Yeah, coming back to your question of the audience, I guess, is somebody who's as cliched as it may sound, open to things that are not really conventional.
Okay.
There's no protocol as such.
Do you look to build a fan base with this?
Yes, I hope I can.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, we are
on the process.
Yeah. Firstly, we're playing this for ourselves, and also it would be amazing if you can find people who like what you do,
and right now it's just I've been doing free improv for about 5 years or something like that, and it's just a small circle of people who also are into weird music or avant-garde music or who do free improvisation themselves, you know. And then I hope the circle grows from there.
Right. So, say a 12-year-old boy comes to listen to or gets to listen to your album from start to end. What do you think his mindset would be at the end of?
I just hope that the boy, this aforementioned boy, gets a sense of relief that which I had got by listening to many of the classics like Floyd, and like I listened to like Echoes hundreds of times, and it had this crazy free improv section, you know, like which was completely noisy, and a lot of King Crimson had that. So like I listened to those things, and like I really loved those sections, and those were the sections that really made me feel like myself, you know. I felt like I didn't have to be like anybody else. Like I liked other music too, but then like and which everyone else used to like. I mean, like, but like I felt like it's okay to be noisy, it's okay to be bad or what everyone thinks is bad, you know. So I hope the 12-year-old boy feels that way as well.
Right. Do you plan to continue making music together of this sort? Do you plan to make more albums of this sort?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Good. So do you plan to engage in some sort of a sound?
I think getting into a sound will be like just the opposite of what we're trying to do, because we're trying to get out of all these boundaries, like, you know, having a particular sound, like, because we want to be fresh every time, and we want to. I would personally like to portray whatever I'm feeling at that particular moment, and having some sounds will just restrict you, you know, like, who knows, someday I might just start playing violin on an album. So I think anything can happen.
You might play the violin like a guitar as well.
Yeah, you know? Or maybe like a drums.
Yeah, drums, yeah, good drummer.
With a violin.
So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, we don't always feel things in the minor key. Times we feel good, we feel bad.
Right.
So we just try to convey that. So it's like the words we use. Like, we're not always cousins, most of us. Or not,
Yeah, and I
nor
would
are
say
we
it's,
super clean and it varies, right?
Yeah.
So I think the music also is pretty much that. And I'd also like to just add to what he said about the sound. I don't think we can have like a sound kind of a thing.
Okay.
Because it just depends on what I'm feeling at that point in time. I might not even want to play the drums, even though credits may say it's drums.
So, would you like to announce where this is going to be launched?
Yeah, so we're launching this via DistroKid, and it's going to be up on all the music websites like Amazon Music, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. Did I miss something?
Like 100 other websites.
And 100 other websites. That's what DistroKid says.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're also putting up on our own platform of Bandcamp. Like that's where I've been putting my music for the past few years, and I'll definitely be putting it out there as well.
We're putting out some stuff on YouTube as well.
Yes, we'll put up some stuff on YouTube like
Yeah.
this video.